Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey, I hope you guys can hear me. So, how are you guys doing this great Saturday morning? After everything that has gone crazy, do I have think I have everything going. Don't know. So I hope you guys can hear me. Been promising a live chat for a while. So this is a little different. Got StreamYard. I really don't know how to use StreamYard, but we're going to try it. So, Julie, can you hear me? I hope so. There we go. So, guys, there's a lot that has happened in the last week. Lots. We have got live chats. We have got, almost like dueling live chats. So everything has just been crazy. We had Case going live, Case and Night Convos. They found a couple of things going on in Ken's chat, in Ken's live, which I thought was crazy. I posted some of that here on my channel. It has just been a crazy day. It's just been a crazy week. Yay! So since I know that you guys can hear me. So it's been a crazy week. We've got allegations going. We've got Ken wanting to, I guess, box Ryan and kind of like a duel, maybe. I don't know. It just sounds like to me this is one of Gypsy's little fairy tales that she's had, wanting to be in a triangle. That is her biggest thing, in my opinion, is for her to be in a triangulation of sorts. There's more emails coming out by the day, and it's just getting really strange. We've seen some videos coming with Gypsy. Gypsy's also has been scrubbing her TikTok, scrubbing her Instagram. So it's just almost like a wait and see game now. We're waiting to see what she's going to throw next, because she's going to have to come up with something to keep everybody's eyes on her. I was watching Rose Red earlier this morning. Hey, Julie. Let's see if I can figure out how to get you on here. Let's see. Morning. Ah! I did it!
All right. Yay! You're professional.
I was hoping I could do it.
I was trying to change my picture, but yeah, it's not working.
I can't. This is like my first time doing it, and I just can't figure it out. I just can't figure everything out.
Great.
So I was watching. Did you watch Rose Red this morning?
Rose Red is great.
So she had some stuff. You know, I think she is on the no baby.
Yeah, she's definitely on the no baby train. Yeah, right.
And you know, I am just so on the fence. I could see both ways.
I do too, and that's the problem that I have.
But you know, she was right this morning. She was like, that baby is old enough to start saying words, da, 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 just start saying stuff. The baby sounded, in Ken's video, it sounded like a newborn.
And it's interesting because I've talked to you about how my daughter was 3 months old when she said her first word.
Yes. And
She said bear.
See?
Yeah.
So, and you were telling me the story about your child at 3 clapping their hands.
Yeah, no, we were singing If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands.
So now we've got, but it did. If you go back and listen, that baby did sound like a newborn. It sounded,
did.
And that's what the baby's not growing. And Ken,
No.
on that live, did you hear any of that live? What is that guy's name? Justin?
Yeah, I listened to that. I listened to that like the next day. Yeah.
That was it was almost so sickening that I didn't even want to hear it. I couldn't hardly stomach the answers.
Because Ken, I mean, what's he doing? What is he doing?
And it doesn't matter what you say to him. He's going to come back with this. And some of his answers was like, you just proved Justin right.
Exactly.
That's what I didn't understand. And then what about, do you remember Gypsy saying that her mom made her be in the wheelchair, even at home?
Yes, yes.
And now Ken was saying, oh, that's why there was that stuff all over the windows was so nobody could see.
It's also suspicious to me. It's really so suspicious.
But this is my question. Do you think Ken knows the truth?
I do. I got to tell you, I do.
That's what I was wondering. What about Ryan?
I don't think Ryan really believes the truth. That's the thing. I think Ken actually knows it.
I think that Ryan might know bits and pieces. Maybe bits and pieces.
Maybe he hasn't put it all together, right?
Yeah, but I just think that Ken is, I'm not saying he's a genius, but he's got to be smarter than actually believing everything that she says. That's what I don't understand. Is he not putting 2 + 2 = 4?
People, I've noticed it like in life, people don't believe stuff they don't want to believe. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because I confronted a relative about some things about Trump, and they said, well, that can't be true. Right?
But why can't it? Anything can happen. Look at 2020. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen, and we could have a coup where they take over, the military takes over this country.
I wouldn't doubt if that even happened.
I won't be surprised.
But and how was he so sure? How was Ken so sure that those emails about Ryan was accurate, but the things that she said about Ken wasn't true? That's what I want to know. Why do you think? How can one thing be true, but the other stuff isn't?
I really don't know. And it's like Justin was asking him those real intelligent questions like, well, we believe the toothbrush,
Yeah, and then I really liked the part when Justin said that he didn't understand, because if she really was ABUSED,
right,
why wouldn't Nick be her hero? And that, to me, that right there should have been like ding 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 ding.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. And the only reason Nick's not her hero is because she wanted him to take the fall.
And and I think Toddy could be right. Maybe he wasn't supposed to leave. Maybe he wasn't supposed to come out of that house.
I 100% believe that. I'll be honest with you.
And that's what I'm wondering. But but the way that Ken explained it, he still did not explain it away.
No.
In my opinion, he was like, well, unfortunately, he decided to do and I'm like, dude, listen to yourself. You're kind of saying that, hey, he was kind of agreeing with Justin, but not. I know that's kind of weird to say, but the way he was explaining it, and like Justin said, it wasn't something that Gypsy came up with. Just her and her mom got in a fight one night and said, "Oh, I want you to do this." It wasn't like a one fight, one overnight thing, and then she decided.
It was 2 years, and she sent a stabbing video. That's the thing that gets me, is that stabbing video.
But even old Scanfield said when he found out about that video, he was like, I don't know how I'm going to defend her with that.
Oh yeah.
And that is, I think that's, and I'm not saying that Nick should be out on the streets running around. I'm not. Hey, Shorty Pie, do you want to come up? But I never thought that he should be out on the streets. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think that he got the raw end of the deal.
Yeah, it's possible, but he's still there, And
I mean, and to me, because I know a lot of people think, hey, she did not, that she might have been gone by the time Nick got there. I understand that, but he still came and he was going to do the deed. So I mean, even though he was manipulated, I just don't think he should have gotten a life sentence.
Yeah, he should be. He should be. He should not be in a prison. He could be in a place where they're taking care of him and reaching his needs. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, and because I think, because I've got an autistic grandson, and whenever you tell him to do something, he wants to make you happy. So he does. Whenever I ask him to do something, mow the yard or wash dishes, he's happily wanting to do it because he wants to make me happy.
Yeah, I have nieces and nephews that are autistic, and I'm adult diagnosed, so I sort of see it. Like, if people had come to me a long time ago and said, "Hey, you got this, and we could help you with some coping mechanisms," it would have helped my life a lot. I got along okay, and I'll be honest with you. One of my severely autistic nephews is a Rain Man, and I'm not kidding you when I say Rain Man. I mean, he's a statistician for the Anaheim Angels.
Oh wow!
He's brilliant, and I have another autistic niece who's a physicist in Germany at the Max Planck Institute. So, but they had a lot of help growing up. See, we didn't when we were kids.
Hey, Kathleen.
Kathleen's here.
But you didn't even hear about autism when we were kids. We really didn't hear that.
No, we didn't.
And I have my own opinions about autism. It's conspiracy theories, so I'm not gonna say it out here. I have some conspiracy theories about it. But,
statistically, it affects people from Northern European backgrounds, and we're Swedish. So that's why our family's just filled up with, all kinds of people, all different ways on the spectrum. I have one niece that can't leave the house without so many obstacles in her way.
But I always felt that maybe, I heard this a long time ago, but I think that we need to do some more studies. I've always heard about the MMR vaccine.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And it just makes me wonder.
Right.
But but it just, at least I can say that Ken, I don't think that he went as hard on Nick as Ryan did. And why? Because, Ryan really spoke bad about Nick. And for Ryan to teach autistic children and for him to go so hard on Nick, I thought that was kind of strange.
And I said the other day that him calling them autistic kids rather than people on the spectrum is so disrespectful if he's a teacher for SPED, right?
Right. And it is a spectrum. You cannot put them all in one box.
And some have more needs than others, and it depends a lot on how much their parents do, because I've watched this in my family. I have one sister-in-law who is intent on making her two autistic sons members of the community. Oh my God. Like I said, one's a statistician for Anaheim Angels. The other one is a bioengineer for the city of LA.
And I do with my grandson. We have him in all kind of programs because we've noticed, we've got him into karate. We got him into different things, and especially thinking so that he can. And whenever he's frustrated, a way to get that frustration out in a healthy way.
Absolutely.
But it scares me. I just think Ryan's done. I don't think he'll ever be a teacher. I think that after all of this, I think he's done.
Well, he really doesn't look real good when he talks about his children and stuff, the people that he teaches. And if he's going to say words like autistics kids, I mean, it's just our autism kids. That's just such an icky way of describing kids.
Yeah. Hey, main chick. But I think, and he just doesn't think when he talks. You got to think. Now he's talked about autistic people, put his foot in his mouth. Then what he's said to Ken about being gay. And with him saying all this stuff, it makes you think, what kind of person are you? Because I know for me, when I was younger, I looked up to my teachers.
Yes.
And he just seems like, to me, can you really look up to him? And do you remember this? Do you remember Gypsy saying that Ryan had a problem with gambling?
With which?
With gambling.
Yeah, and I've said this before 100 times. When you're an addict, it's like whack-a-mole with different addictions. You stop one, another one pops out of nowhere. I've been there. I've been down that route. Okay.
And I actually took up for Ryan because I was thinking, no, I don't think that's just something that Gypsy was saying. But isn't it funny how she likes to attach herself with people with either addictions or something like that? It's almost like she likes that because she can control.
I think she knows that. Yeah, I think she does.
Yes, and the manipulation. And you know what? I don't even think I feel sorry for Ryan now, because in those emails, she was telling him right there in the emails that she really wasn't attracted to him.
Yuck.
How much? I mean, it's just like, can you not get the hint? Can you not get the hint? She's not that into you.
Too funny. I tell you what.
But that's what kills me. And then he's still, with him losing his job, he's still going to the casinos. I mean, for me, if I lost my job, I would be saving every penny I had, because I'm thinking, I don't have a job right now. I gotta pay rent next month. I gotta be able to eat. But
I live on Social Security. I would never touch a casino. I've gone to concerts at casinos, but I never go to gamble at a casino. Okay.
But he's not worried. And this is what I'm thinking. Is him and Ken in on it together? And that's why he's not worried about money. They're coming up with this, hey, let's have a boxing match. That would be good content.
And that's the first thing Ryan said was, it'll be a pay-per-view, like it's a wrestling event,
Exactly. And I thought it was funny because when Ryan came on, his live got taken down, and then everybody come over here to watch Ken. Mm-hmm. And then when Ken says goodbye, Ryan gets his live back up again. I mean, it's almost like in the background, do they have their phones? Let's do. That's what I'm thinking.
I've always kept an extra burner phone, and I might not have, I have a few minutes on it, I've always kept an extra burner phone. They could be doing that and we would never know. They could be texting. I could be texting in the background. You'd never know. I could be texting on my phone, or excuse me, on my PC, and you would never know.
See, exactly. So, but I think something's going on. And then if you remember, she's not bothered by any of this, but then she apologizes on that live.
And it was just because everybody was so negative about it. But truth of the matter, skinny legs wouldn't last 2 seconds with Ryan. And I'm not saying because Ryan's overweight. What I'm saying is when you're overweight and you're carrying all that weight, your muscles get really strong.
And I don't even know if Ryan can even get his limp wrist even into a fist or not. That's
you mean Ken, right?
Yeah, Ken. That's what can he even, because he's like, but with her saying, oh, those emails, I was so young. No, you wasn't. You were sending those the same month, and then she wants to act like it was her diary. Well, how would you feel? How would you feel?
That wasn't a diary. That was her getting pay pigs, and so she could get money and money and money. You think you got 4 or 5 people, you get $200 a week? That's $800 a month.
Well, she was already getting $200 from Pimp Juice himself.
Yeah.
So all of this extra money. And did you see the one that I posted this morning? Because she even had. Now, is it Millie, Amelia Bird, the one?
Yes, she is. She is. That's Millie. Yeah.
And see, you could tell both of them were in together with the same baby.
Well, probably Millie was doing it, and she probably showed Gypsy how. I don't know. There's so many reasons not to talk to people in prison. I've written letters to people, the friends that I knew. That's all I ever did. I would never get involved with anybody. You know what I mean? It just, ugh.
And then for Ryan to turn around and say that all of that should be private. We shouldn't have. Why, Ryan? Why would that be private? I mean, they are custody of the state of Missouri. So everybody's taxpayers are paying for them to live.
It's like Stearns' family saying, how come our phone calls are on the internet? That's so funny. Like, did you ever watch any trials? And in trials, they say, yeah, we got all your phone calls where you beat this woman up and now you're calling and threatening her. Yeah, we got all those phone calls. So go ahead.
And, I'm wondering if the phone calls are ever going to come out.
I wish they would. That would be hysterical.
Because that's what Ken keeps saying. Whenever he was saying that she was that's all true about Ryan, and then he said, "Wait till the phone calls comes out." Now, what if they decide, Gypsy and her camp over there decides to get all the phone calls so that they can put some out? Because as long as they have got maybe controversy, they can bring some money in.
Yep.
But I don't think that there's going to be another lifetime. I just don't think that there's another season. I think since the who was that just got out of prison? Him and his wife. You know who I'm talking about? Oh, Chrisley.
Him. Oh, those people have always given me the cringe.
Yeah, me too. Because they were in Nashville for a while, right down the road from me.
I remember that. I remember they moved to Nashville for a while. The daughter was dating a country star too, so.
But I think they're gonna see. I think that the reason why I think the Chrisleys is going to take over that. There's no room. Gypsy's losing it. Her 15 minutes is just about over.
The boredom factor is too big. Between her and Ryan, I mean, I could be sleeping through it all. I would not know.
And Ryan, I need to go and look at Ryan's his YouTube channel, because he started one. So
I haven't noticed it. Interesting.
But I don't understand, what would he do? And he told everybody, called them fans, and he said, if you're my fans and you're saying I'm still simping Gypsy, you can just get out of here. Well, Ryan, you really don't have that many fans. People are just wanting to see what you have to say. Hey, forest friend, we want to
Somebody,
see if anything drops. If he's going to say anything. Nobody's his fan.
yeah. Let's everybody hit the thumbs up for us, please. Just
Please. Oh, Sarah Grace. Julie, have you heard of Sarah Grace?
do I have what?
Have you heard of that little girl named Sarah Grace? She's like 16 or 17 years old, and she was just arrested for murdering her mom and dad.
Oh, did she say anything about Gypsy? I wouldn't be surprised.
She didn't, but what's so funny is she went a few months before she got arrested, and she was all over TikTok crying, getting all this sympathy. And then finally, she I think she had messaged a true crime person over on TikTok and wanted her to look into her mom and dad's murder.
Well, I'll go ahead and I'll research all that today because I got nothing. I've already done all my work today. So,
but this is very interesting. But there's been how many? 21 to 25 little young ladies that have murdered their either one parent or both since Gypsy has gotten out.
well, there you go. What an influencer.
Exactly. And then, and why wouldn't that have been part of her parole that you could not be on social media because
You know
she perpetrated
that Josh Duggar, because he was into all the porn on the internet. He has no
Yes.
access. He's not lifetime banned from the internet. I thought she should have been lifetime because what she did to Nick. But see, it all came out. Nick always ended up being the bad guy in court. And that's what the really horrible part is. She did not get punishment because he took all the punishment.
And she lied right there on the stand. She lied. We've got evidence of her lying. And it just, and to hear Ken in that interview taking up for her. But I don't give it, I give that relationship maybe a year longer because I think when they finally break up, I think it's going to be bad. I really think, he will spill tea. Ryan won't. I don't know why.
Yeah, Ryan's got some kind of syndrome, that hybristophilia thing where you write to people in prison. And part of that is you sort of excuse their crime. And so that's kind of always interesting to me. But yeah, Ken, I don't know. He stands up for her now, but maybe he's doing that just because he's with her.
And then he wanted to turn around and say that he didn't have an NDA.
Right. We all believe you, Ken. Not.
And Forrest Brand is right. I mean, Ken is a bud. He's one of those people that, that he is, he's a jerk. And even the way he talks to Gypsy, that's not a Toya. And I'm just thinking, what's your problem? You even talk to her like that.
And he's not very nice to her. There's been lots of times where he's rolled his eyes behind her back, and you can see it on. It was even on one of the episodes of the show. He opened the door for her and rolled his eyes, and I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, he loves her."
Now, the other night when he was on live, and we caught that him sniffing. We caught it.
Yeah.
This is what I wonder. We know that old Pimp Juice himself has had trouble with that too in the past.
Yeah, and he went to rub his gums. Did y'all see that? He went to rub his gums. Like, I know that thing. I know that procedure.
Too.
Okay. And I just went, oh, he's totally with the Boulder Snowball Police right there.
Yes. Now, and I think Gypsy was too. I really do. I could be, but
But Case has a point there. They did this publicly. Now, I've already called CPS, and they already told me I was a lunatic, which is fine, because I probably am anyways.
But what is so bad is they're not going to do anything until something happens to that baby. And
that's the bad part. That's the bad part. And Louisiana CPS is known for doing stuff like that and letting kids die and stuff like that.
I just
So
think it's sad. But you know that Christy, she's has a time with substances too. And I've
well,
seen her on interviews. She looks loop-de-loop.
well, she drinks. I think she drinks a lot. She talks about drinking all the time.
Yes. So it
As I'm
just makes
drinking,
me
but that's all right.
wonder. It just
Yeah.
makes me wonder and if they're all doing that, no telling how much they're doing a day. That's expensive. They
No.
got to come up with some money.
Oh, who's got the money? Gypsy does.
Yes, but it cannot last long. That money will not last long if you're doing stuff like this. And I think because in that one email, she talked about how her parents put money in a trust for her, and she gets money every month or something. How long do you think that's going to last in today's economy? How long is that going to last, and how much do you think that she's getting?
Main chick just said they're headed. Ken and Gypsy are headed for DV. I totally see that. Just his little attitude about, I can bluff everybody, and that I can tell everybody what they want to believe, and they're going to believe me. Nah, I don't believe a word he says.
Gypsy will set him up.
Yep,
she will do an Amber Heard on him. That's what will happen. She will do an Amber Heard, and guess what? Send it right to TMZ.
Yeah.
We already know TMZ's in her back pocket.
Main chick, 100%. You can feel his anger. He's got this anger that's just amazing. It's so deep and totally,
And we haven't heard anything from his mom in a while, have we? Isn't that funny?
Well, that's because she got caught lying.
Now, let me ask you this. This is what I was trying to figure out last night before I went to bed. Y'all remember they drove from Louisiana to Texas, right?
Yeah.
Now, when did they go back to Louisiana before they went to Miami?
I believe that's what they did, because Gypsy was saying how she didn't even unpack, which disgusts me because dirty clothes, right?
Well, that's what I was wondering, because they said that Parker was at a doggy place or something.
Yeah.
But I thought I was just wondering if they drove from Louisiana to Texas and then to Florida. I was like, what really happened here?
I think they flew to Florida because she was talking about flying.
Yeah, and I think I've seen some pictures of them at the airport. And you know what's so funny? I haven't seen TMZ go to the airport like they did when she went to California.
Nope.
And I don't think Kim K wants anything to do with her either. Isn't it funny we haven't heard much about Kim K in a while?
Well, Kim K's got marriage not ex-husband problems, because think about trying to raise kids with Kanye, how that would be. I wouldn't sign up for that. I'd be done already.
But at least Kim K, even though she has stuff like that going, she tries to keep everything on this level here.
Yes, she does.
She never slips down and doxes and do all of this stuff like Gypsy does.
No, that's not. They don't do that because they're too involved in their base, and they got good management. Even though they call the mom the manager, they've got other management. So,
that I think Gypsy should have had somebody coming out to kind of lead her. I know they tried to get somebody. Remember that Banyan? What was it, Blue Banyan or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's happening now. I think they did that, and I don't think they could afford anything.
All they got is Mike Creepfield, and it's like, how good was that, right?
And who?
Yeah, I've heard Kathleen said she heard Kim doesn't want to talk to her. I believe that.
I believe it too. I totally believe it. She probably wishes she didn't even have it on when she did.
And you all know I have no time for the Kardashians because their father took OJ's clothes after the Bronco chase, took his clothes and walked out of the house, and you could see it on video. And that was
Oh
OJ's
my.
murder clothes that he took out in a suit hanger.
Well, you know, I think Gypsy, she thought for a while she was on that level of him. And
Yeah.
no, there's no way. There's no
Meh.
way. Because, you know, the Kardashians, they could get away with stuff like that. But
Yeah.
what I just
They
don't
had
know.
a lot. They have a lot more money than she'll ever have.
Exactly.
Because the
But-
father was very wealthy. Think of this: he's running in the crowd with OJ and all these
Exactly.
football players. He's not running with the cheap crowd, and they already had money before they started, and now they all got their own gigs going, and very interesting to think about that.
Exactly. I'm just wondering because I'm telling you, I keep watching because Gypsy, Ken, Ryan, they're gonna have to come up with something pretty quick. Because the money that she does have, it's not a lifetime worth of money. It's
Well,
just not.
Let's throw this out to the chat. Who believes Case when he said that they bought a compound in Georgia? Would anybody else hear that? I'm just checking with the chat, asking for a friend, as we say.
Yes. Could you imagine that being your neighbor? Can you imagine?
Right.
I just could not imagine. And you know, poor Aurora, she's never going to get a break. You know, she's not going to be able to live a normal childhood where she can go to a friend's house. Because I'm telling you, if my grandkid said, hey, Gigi, I'm going to go over and can I go over Aurora's house for a birthday party? Who's your mama? You know, because I want to know what kind of household you're going to be in.
Okay, Forrest Friend and Main Chick, you both believe that they bought a compound. I do too. And I'm telling you why, because of Case and Forrest Friend. Yes, I think Case knows what he's talking about.
So I guess they're going to try to go out. Where was it? In Georgia?
Let's see. Somewhere in the Atlanta area was what I understand.
That's expensive living out there.
Now, all those records are public because real estate records are all public.
She may, well, and also in Georgia, you've got more stuff that is public too, because I can't believe in Louisiana, birth records aren't public. Hey, Fallout.
Louisiana is under like old French law. That's why.
You know, they may want to think about staying where they are. Or who knows? Because of what I heard is the people in the bayou don't want anything to do with them either.
Yeah, that might be why they're going there. Is because the people in the bayou are probably sick and tired. I used to have a lot of friends down in Lake Charles, which is where Ryan lives, and I actually spent a couple of weeks down there every year. Long story short, I can do mechanics on Harleys, and there's a Harley Davidson dealership in Lake Charles, and I used to go down there and work for him 2 or 3 weeks on my vacation before I had my daughter.
Yeah.
On my vacation, I go down there, work for 2 weeks, make $5,000, and then I just come back to Colorado. And those people don't put up with outsiders, period. And Gypsy's an outsider. And Ken is a severe outsider. I mean, I know he lives in Metairie, but everybody lives in Metairie if you work in New Orleans. So,
well, you know, the South, if you go, well, because y'all know I'm from the South too, but a lot of the South, you go to these little bitty towns, they don't like outsiders coming in because a lot of them that live there, their granddaddy lived there, their grandmama, they've all, you know, there's some kind of tie everywhere you go.
Yep.
But I just can't see them. I tell you what she should have done is if she would have just came out, did a couple of interviews, and then wrote a book, guess what? None of us would have thought anything. You know, we would have all been.
But she has to rub it in her face. She has to go on TikTok and Insta and here on YouTube, which you're invading my space now, dude. And it's
Exactly.
like, if you look at my profile, I've had Instagram since it YouTube since it started, and it's all about music with me. I just fell into the true crime stuff in the last 4 or 5 years.
And
But yeah, I
I've
know.
always loved true crime. I've always loved it. I remember when ID Discovery just came. I love ID Discovery. But what I'm ashamed of is Lifetime. Lifetime used to be one of my favorite channels. I used to watch it with my mom. You know, you on Sundays, you would sit around watch one of those old Lifetime movies. And now I don't even want it on. I don't want anything to do with Lifetime. They turned her, Melissa Moore, and this is what I want to know.
Can somebody tell me why Melissa's? Can somebody tell me why Melissa Moore's face is crooked? Have you ever looked at her straight on? She's crooked.
No,
Her face is like crooked. It's like, dude, like
but
what?
she's made money. Think about this. She's made money off of the lives of the women that her father has murdered.
And it's okay if they come out and talk about it and they do documentaries. I really don't mind that, but it's just the making money. And now she's gonna manage Gypsy, and so Gypsy how to make money on it, you know?
You would have thought by now, with all the embarrassing things that Gypsy has done, you would have thought that she would want to cut ties, but she don't. And that tells you what kind of person Melissa Moore is. In my opinion, that tells you what kind of person Melissa Moore is.
I agree with you there. I have to.
Because she is just, she is horrendous. And, you know, the poor women, that's right, main chick, the poor women. I mean,
and their families are still there mourning them, you know?
Yes. And you just anytime you're just throwing it in their face. And
that's not
that's
good.
a sad thing. That is so sad.
Yeah, it's complicated, you know, because I think about the Petries and I think about the things they say about Dee Dee, but there's like so much background in that because people say Dee Dee wasn't Claude's daughter. People say that Claude, you know, and it's like, well, whatever. But you don't say you're going to throw somebody's ashes down the toilet. Jesus, don't let that happen to me, dude.
And then to find out that I get from the emails that everybody that was in the documentary had to sign an NDA.
So yeah, we all know, right? We all know there's NDAs all over the place, and we know Kendia has done his share of signing. He probably doesn't have. I don't think he's got like a huge like IQ. I'm telling you, and I'm not being an asshole, and I'm not being elitist. I don't think he's much smarter than Gypsy.
Well, it said in one of the emails that he was trying to get his GED. And then it took Gypsy 5 years to get her GED. And that's what kills me. She had nothing to do all day. She could study all day long because she didn't have to worry about putting food on the table. She didn't have to worry about paying rent. All she had to do was worry about her GED.
Was it just because she's so lazy? Because she's lazy as hell.
Well, it sounds like all she did while she was in prison was sit around watching reality TV shows and trying to find men to scam money out of.
Okay, Forrest Friend just said Ken's a cocky liar. I'm going to say something about this. I have gay friends all over this country, and I love every one of them, and I'm not saying this because Ken's gay, which I believe Ken's gay. But here's the thing. There are gay men who are so angry, and it comes out in them all the time. And I think Ken's one of those gay men where it's his anger's overtaken him, his anger over being gay and not being able to express himself and stuff. That's how I think Ken is such a cocky liar, you know, because he thinks he knows everything, and it makes you a little narcissistic.
And you know, he said in the emails, he said something to Gypsy about, well, how would you feel if I ended up really being gay and you were my beard?
And
what man that's not gay would say that?
And I've watched my friends go through that gay anger. I really have, and it's been very hard for me, you know, because I really feel for people.
I think it's got to be hard. But, then again, this is 2025. Think about what the men had to go through back in the 70s and back
Well,
in the
think about
80s.
like the 20s
They
and when
had to
Hollywood
hide.
first started. When Hollywood first started and all the men were gay, and it was like, whoa, you find out Rock Hudson's gay, you go, whoa,
Yeah. Well, they had to hide it.
Yeah,
And
Miss Anonymous says it's places you live. The only place
that's
it's
true.
safe to be gay in Texas is Austin. I'm
I was
telling you
going to
that because
say
I've been all over
Austin.
Texas.
I was going to say Austin because I was just in Austin. I think back last year I went to Austin, and they really don't care in Austin. I mean, I think I got a T-shirt that says "Keep Austin Weird."
Oh, I love that T-shirt. I used to have one. Oh, that was great. I used to
I
go
love
back
it.
when South by Southwest was actually bearable. Now it's just disgusting, and people are just getting drunk and puking in the streets. And I can go to New Orleans if I want to see puke in the streets, right?
But there's no reason, and it's to me, it would have to, it would have to be hard keeping that bottled up, keeping
Yeah,
your real feelings.
main
Like,
chicks
hey,
talking about drag shows. I first went to my first drag show in Austin. How about that? And I loved it. It's
I
hysterical.
love
It's
them.
so funny. And then Forrest Prince says he lived in California Bay Area. Go figure. You know how that might be. I've told the story 100 times about. I ended up in San Francisco having to stay over to a Sunday, and it was Gay Pride, and I never had so damn much fun. I'm telling you. I said, "Oh, sounds like a party. I'm going downtown." Oh my God, that was so fun. That
Do
was
you
the
remember
best
that
time.
movie? Do you remember that movie Birdcage?
Yeah, I've been thinking about watching that. I'll be honest with you. I keep seeing it come up on. It
I mean,
comes up on YouTube a lot.
right. I love it. It's great, and it just makes me wonder. They kept saying, do you remember when they were in Austin? They kept on talking about Stevie, and they said Stevie was famous.
Steve's a drag queen.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, he looks
And
like a drag queen to me.
we saw there was a Facebook post where was it? Ken and Stevie took a picture together, and it was on Facebook before he moved to. It was like what, a year or two ago.
Right. Hey, Miss Anonymous. Yeah. I'm glad that your son came out and you were able to like live in a diverse environment. Colorado's kind of like that. I lived there for 40 years, and it's very diverse, and we care and we
It
love
is
everybody
here,
because we have respect for people. So
and
you know what I'm saying?
I just couldn't imagine because my kid come out to me and she was scared at first. She's like, I didn't want you not to love me, and I said, what are you talking about? I don't care. You're always my child. I
Yeah,
will always love you. That's
think
what
of
a
the
mama
nights you
does.
spent. Think of the nights you spent up with them when they were sick, or the nights that you spent up just worrying that they were going to be okay, or not be bullied at school. That's my child got bullied, so I
Mine
was
did too.
very worried about that. And then when she talks about internet bullying, that ain't nothing to what they do to kids in a private school. And so they
I
think
know.
they're going to send that child to a private school and she's not going to be bullied. Ha! Those kids have
No.
more ability to get on the internet than any other kids.
Exactly. And I think it's sad because I think that what Gypsy's do, Gypsy's looking for that love that only a mother, that mother love, because you'll never have that love. I lost my mom a few years ago. You'll never have someone that loves you as much as your mom. And I
Right.
think that's sad because I don't think Gypsy has really anybody in her life that really loves her. They love what she can do for them, such as the money, but I don't think any of them. Because think about it. How does Christy really? I don't think she can even stand Gypsy. I don't even think that she can even stand her. Look at the prison emails. She was talking about they would go weeks at a time with her not talking to Christy. And how do you think Christy felt when those emails came out and it came out that she was helping her dad cheat? And the
But
person that
they have
he cheated on was actually writing Gypsy. What the heck?
You know, those people, they have no self-respect, and that's why they're doing what they're doing, in my opinion.
Yes,
You know,
and true.
this is what Gypsy's got. She's got Rod, who will screw anything with the ability to, and
Mhm.
he keeps his wife medicated and drunk, and he's out gone all the time. And I think it's horrible that now Ken, who's like in big denial that he's gay, we all know because damn, and
Mhm.
and now he's going to grow up with a child where he's going to deal with it when it comes up. Unfortunately, putting everything on the internet is ridiculous. You and I both know that everything is on the internet is forever, and it's so
Forever.
sad. And
Mhm.
I think that nah, I just think that it's so bad for that child. I really feel bad. I think they should have put that child up for adoption, because now if there is a
It's.
baby, and I'm on the no baby train most of the time. So anybody on the old baby no baby train on this chat, I'd be interested to find out.
I would be interested too because I sit on the fence on that piece.
Okay,
1 week I think there's not. 1 week I think there is.
consider it's a poll.
Yes, let's do a
Type
poll.
1 for baby and 2 for no baby.
Yes, 1 for baby, 2 for no baby.
We just want to know, because I'm still on the fence, really.
Yeah, me too. Because there's so much, and the way that pregnancy went. But
No.
but again, but like I said, just think about poor Christy. She just came out and she knew. She knows now that Gypsy helped her dad. And did you hear that her dad told Gypsy that maybe she should tell Ryan that they should have an open marriage?
Yeah, that's what her dad wishes he had, right?
Yes.
Yes, mean chick, we've discussed this in length. We think maybe that child might have the microdeletion.
Yes. Yes. I forgot what it's called. The one where she sounds like a cat.
The Creed shot, the cry of the cat. Yeah.
And if you read about that microdeletion, it's a scary thing. It's scary.
And the fact that Gypsy just let him have her without any protection, that's very, very not good. She wasn't thinking, or if she had the ability to think, I'm not real sure.
Exactly. Exactly. I just think it's it's horrible. It's horrible. But I just think that there's a lot more to come. I really do. I think that they are right now getting a plan together. And I think that's why she's been out for so long. They're putting a plan together on what they're going to do next.
Well, maybe they're going to try and filter her some more. I think that would be so much more intelligent, don't you? If they could filter what she says and does, stop the dancing videos, because everybody's making fun of him.
But just like I think it was Miss Anonymous said, you have not heard of any milestones. Because as a mother, I was so excited. Oh, my baby, they just turned over by themselves today.
I remember, and it's the strange things you remember from your kids, right? I remember my daughter on her 6 weeks checkup. The doctor jumped back and said, she's not supposed to roll over at 6 weeks. I said, she's a good girl. Leave her alone. But my daughter was very advanced. She was also born late. So she was advanced.
Baby? Do you remember how old is this baby? How old is Gypsy's baby right now?
Well, she'll be like December 28th, if we believe that date, which I don't believe that either. It would be almost 7 months at the end of this month, right?
That's what I was thinking. So there's no way. And we have the baby should be already trying to stand up. Well, Jenny is no baby.
Yeah, there we go. We got two. We got one no baby and one I think no baby. So that's good. That's good.
But how is this going to end though? Think about this, and that's what I keep thinking. If there is no baby, how's it going to end? There's going to have to be like an accident, right?
SIDS, I think about that sometimes myself.
Yeah. But that is sad, but she's talked about her baby dying of SIDS, remember?
Yeah,
That
but
hurt me. I had a baby
she
to die of SIDS. My son did.
I
And
can't imagine my heart would break. I would be over.
but
Because I
for
remember,
that to come out of her mouth, I thought
but
that
then
was just
she never talks about. Like, I'm telling you, we would sing to that child. We would talk to her. We would show her things. Look at the dog doing this. Look at the house. Look at this. Look at. I mean, she never talks. She's not doing those things that we would do with a child. Weren't you that way? Didn't you carry that child around with you everywhere you went? Like I did,
everywhere.
or her dad did everywhere. Her dad went
Everywhere.
everywhere
And
with
then
her. I
anytime
bragged
they
too.
did
Yes,
something,
I bragged everything. I bragged all my children.
yes, they did one thing. I'm calling. Hey, guess what she did today? But you're
Yeah.
not hearing any of that.
I did go back to work, but her dad came for lunch every day. And that child, I looked at her every day and we would play, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And did you find, where's your bear? And, what are you doing?
Yes.
And what did you and daddy do? Did you have lunch yet?
But that's what
See?
I'm worrying.
Kathleen says the kids were walking in 9 months, 10 months running.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my daughter. Yeah.
But I'm just wondering about the end game, because if something's gonna happen, if there's no baby, something's gonna have to happen pretty quick. Because SIDS usually after 9 months of age, SIDS doesn't happen.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm just wondering end game. And maybe that's what they're planning right now. Maybe that's why they went off
Got to exit the baby train, yeah. Or maybe, did anybody else hear somebody say on the chat, and I'm asking the chat this, did anybody else hear somebody say on the chat that Mike Creepfield delivered a baby to them that night when she was supposedly in labor?
That's a good question.
Because I keep hearing that, and now I've heard it twice.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, I don't want to give up that source just because I want to keep hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow.
And I'm pushing the empty baby in Texas again. Goes, well, maybe somebody was holding her. Well, where were the other people then? Why weren't you just filming the other people? I don't know.
And you remember Amber Heard? She would hire babies, photo ops. So is that what we're seeing here? I don't know.
Yeah, see, Miss Anonymous. Miss Anonymous, you remember hearing that. Sometimes I doubt myself because I'm 66 years old and I wonder about what I think. But, but anything is possible for us, friend. Yes.
And y'all know that when money's involved, anything's possible.
No, and then that's the thing. It's the money involved. And, that's a cash cow. That baby's a cash cow. And they know it. That's why they're holding back on giving pictures and stuff. That's why everybody holds back. Yeah. Everybody famous holds back on pictures until they get the right money.
But I'm telling you, I think, and this is what makes me think of a no baby. This part right here is, you would think by now, Gypsy would have went ahead and leaked the baby's photo. 7 months, almost 7 months, and we haven't got a face pic. You would think that we would have gotten one by now.
Somebody somewhere out in public should have gotten one. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think. And you haven't had anybody, and this is what I think is funny. You haven't had anybody come out and say that they've seen them at the hospital the day that we seen the baby.
Exactly.
You would think that you would see or hear somebody would have a story somewhere. And then the night that she went into labor, her TikTok account got hacked.
And yeah, when I was in labor, I remember both times I was thinking about whether I got hacked, right? Oh, yes. I don't think so. No, I wasn't thinking about anybody but having a healthy baby. That's all I thought about.
Me too. So I just find that is just really strange.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, there's a lot of things that you could question.
And yes, forest friends, the grandmas are very quiet. Even Krusty is very quiet. Very quiet.
I don't. And have you noticed since the emails, Krusty has been even more quiet than before. I feel.
I agree because she was totally into it when she was in prison too.
Mm-hmm.
Main chick says
Something's
she's
going
lying
on.
about the birth date. I still think she
Hey,
probably
Justin.
gave birth in Florida when they were there over Thanksgiving. If there's a baby, see,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm on the fence still because I don't know. I don't know.
Just
Yeah, the hacker
something's not
situation
right.
just went away. Oh, look, Justin's
Something.
on here. Hey, Justin.
But I just feel like there's more to the story, and I think it's funny. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say it or not, but it just seems like it's just funny that you've got. There's so much more to it, and there's more people that know, but it seems like more people are being quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even like, okay, and then we discussed it. You and I have discussed this. Why is Fancy raising her ugly head again?
Yeah, Fancy has come out. She is back out here again.
Anybody want to talk about that? Because, geez.
That is strange to me. And did y'all? And what about Bree? She's coming back fighting harder now. Have y'all noticed?
Yeah, and did you notice, like, Bree had, like, permed hair, and now her hair is straight. What's that about? I mean, I know that's something small, but I keep thinking that, right?
And she has, I don't know, she has, I kind of feel for Bree because I really think Bree is disgusting. I'm not saying I like her. She's disgusting.
Ugh.
But whenever the poop hits the fan, I think that she's going to be the one with egg on her face. She's going to have some egg on her face. And because, do you think that Bree knows all the facts? Do you think she knows anything?
If she does, she's not. She doesn't understand what it means because it's Bree, and she's been known to bend her head over and snort a line too on online. So I've seen that.
And I was just wondering. I wonder what Bree knows.
I'd be interested to know, but you know, that breakup with Bree and Gypsy is going to be hard.
Because Bree, if she does know stuff, guess what? She's got a lot of information, and I tell you, that's one person Gypsy should be afraid of.
You would think, you know, but I don't know. Is Bree able to actually do something? I mean, her intelligence level is so low at this point. I really wonder about her because she believes everything. She believes all the lies.
Mm-hmm. Her and what's her name? What was her name?
Sheena, is that the one?
Not Sheena. What is the older lady's name?
Dreamer. Oh yeah.
Dreamer. Oh my gosh, Dreamer's just embarrassing.
We were begging Dreamer last night on Morbid's live to go. Come on, Dreamer, call in because Morbid's doing call-in shows now. Did you know that?
Kind of like Case.
No, this is just call-in. You got a phone call in.
Oh wow.
And so many people are calling up and, you know, doing it. Oh, Dreamers. Oh, my God. I saw a lady at the pharmacy yesterday. If I could have taken a picture and felt okay about it, I said, look, I found Dreamer. But no, I won't do that to somebody in a pharmacy where it's all us old people hanging around, right?
I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like something is going to hit the fan because there's got to be money coming in somehow, because I think that Gypsy knows if money's not coming in, Ken is going to be gone.
Yeah, and I'm afraid he's just going to take the baby because in Texas she won't get custody because she's a felon.
Yeah, exactly. And with him saying that night at that bar, I'm glad we have all of this taped.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
because you know why.
Mm-hmm. I
Right
just think
before
that
he hit end, he shouldn't have said it because right before he hit end, I saw him go, I'm glad we have this on tape with his nasty little voice, right? Justin
and
thinks Ken will marry her. Oh my goodness. Justin, why don't you come up?
Justin, do you really? You
Come
think
up,
Ken will
Justin. We
marry
want to
her?
talk. Come on. We
Come
want
on
some.
up and tell us. Tell us why. Here, I'm going to drop the link if anybody else wants to come out up real quick.
Everybody's welcome. Kathleen, Main Chick, Forest Friend, Shorty Pie, anybody who wants. Miss Anonymous. Y'all guys want to come up? Come up.
Come on up.
Oh, I see, Justin. I see. And that's probably Louisiana
Oh,
law. Louisiana's under different law, huh?
oh, Main Chick thinks they're already married.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hmm?
Ooh. But does anybody know what is on Aurora's birth certificate? Who is down as the father?
Well, originally they showed a birth certificate that said Ryan Scott Anderson.
And then they did the DNA.
And then I supposedly changed, but I never saw a new birth certificate.
So, do y'all remember who was it? It was Nina or somebody else came out right after the baby was born and said that Ken and Gypsy both had lawyers, that they both have different lawyers. Do you guys remember that?
I don't, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
And this was right after the baby was born.
Hmm.
And I'm just wondering if Ken has gone, because we know that there's a test been done.
So somebody just put in the text, and I'm turning around fixing a drink for myself. I got to have a little more Gatorade today. Somebody just put in there that they think they're already married. Do you really think that? I mean, what do you think?
I just don't think so.
I don't think you're either.
I think that Gypsy is going to I think that for them to get married, I think that they would want it on TV.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, exactly. I just think that they are going to have this big old wedding thing, and right on Lifetime.
That's so disgusting. I mean, Jesus, I would almost have to go there and be the wedding crasher. I swear, I just can't.
And the way, whenever we heard Ken in Justin's interview, that was so sickening. Boyfriend, I agree. Next year in Omaha, California. Oh. I don't know. I think that, yeah, she would be flaunting it, doing her, trying to get that dress. I just think that she would have to have like $1 million wedding. And you were talking about Fancy. I saw Fancy. It seems like she is popping up every time I come on YouTube. She's popping up.
Oh, look here. It says Justice says the Templar cult. This is something that Tanya and I have discussed, that this is a social experiment to see just what people will believe.
That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he says a Templar cult, it definitely could be. I know a lot about Templar cults because it's a long story, but I'm going to tell you, George W. Bush was a knight of a Templar. Yes. And one of his roommates at Yale is a close friend of mine still.
But who was it? Did you hear? Okay, so I listened to some of Fancy's little deal the other day. And she had sent Dan Patterson an email. I think it was an email asking him why they let Gypsy off.
And it's Ojai. Ojai. I'll tell you here. It's Ojai. Yeah, I've been there.
French Castle and Ours. Oh my gosh.
Do you mean Melungeons or Merovingians? There's two different people there.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
That's weird.
That could be. That very well could be.
That's scary to me.
I Merovingians. I'm gonna have to look that one up. 'Cause
I
I've
am
heard
too.
of it.
I'm gonna
I
have
just
to look
don't know
that
what
up
they are.
too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
Milk Honey and Mayhem has come up and said she's a Melungeon, which is a genetic thing.
Did you guys see that video with Julie? I sent you that video. What was her name? Something Atlanta. Oh, what was she was on one of Toddy's shows. And she was talking about the gypsy thing. And then she talked about she thought that gypsy may not be in some kind of cult kind of thing. Do you remember that?
I remember seeing that. You guys, I gotta have a break. I gotta have a potty break. Go ahead and talk without me. I'm gonna keep listening, okay? I'm just gonna mute and stop my camera because you know why.
I'm gonna look this up, but she was over on Toddy's, and it was something Atlanta, and she was talking about something about she was doing some research, and I'm telling you, if I put it in one of my videos, and I asked you guys to watch it because she really came up with some good points, and it just really just made me wonder. I wish I could find her. I'm looking for it right now. I hate it being dead air, but I really want y'all to shoot. Hold on, guys. I'm looking for it. But she was talking something like what y'all are talking about, and it really made sense. And now I can't find it. I may have to post it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Esoteric Atlanta. Have y'all ever heard of that? I'm going to put it in the chat. Have you guys ever heard? Have you ever seen her? It was about 11 days ago, and she did a video, and it was called, let me see, can y'all see that? This is it. I'm so confused about Gypsy Rose's baby. And like I said, 11 days ago, she did this, and what she was talking, I mean, it was, guys, I really want you to, I wonder if I can put this somehow in chat. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can put this in chat somehow. Because it was so good. And, hold on.
Thank you for coming in again.
Well, I'll put it in after we get off. But it is so interesting. So, but guys, I am about to get off of here. I've been going for a little over an hour. Unless anybody else wants to come up. But been going for a little over an hour. I'll try to do another one tomorrow. But guys, I'm going to put in the chat, I'm going to put this video of Esoteric Atlanta. Guys, take a look at it, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But uh-oh. Hold on, I've got her up. Uh-oh. But guys, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta go water the garden. I love you guys. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys.